Welcome to my kitchen. Good morning. So as you can tell, we are currently in my car. Long story short, there's a new Barnes & Noble opening in Southbury, Connecticut, and I've never been to a Barnes & Noble opening, so I decided that I was going to come over here for the opening. The official opening starts at 10 a.m. It's currently 9:35 right now. I'm keeping an eye on the door to see how long the line is going to get. I didn't realize that there was a bench over there, and I am now realizing that I should have parked my butt on the bench, and I didn't do that, and now people took over the bench, and my social anxiety is going to keep me from sitting on the bench with them. I've always wanted to go to an event at a Barnes & Noble or just like any bookstore, and like my agoraphobia has kept me from doing such things. For the next like month or so, I'm doing quite a few different events that are like way outside of my comfort zone. So I thought it'd be fun to take you all with me on the adventure. And yes, we do have a Twilight shirt of the day. Had to represent.
This is the skin of a killer, Bill.
I will fully admit, one of the big pushes that got me to decide to... Also, this is my garbage can. Like, let me turn this. I feel like that looks weird in the camera. One of the big pushes that got me to do this is I saw online that they're giving out free book bags. I have this one, but they're giving out like this free, it's like white with rainbow text on it, and honestly that was like the big push. There's also going to be a couple of authors here, but I looked into what books they write and it wasn't any genres that I'm personally interested in. Southbury isn't like a massive town, so I don't anticipate the line getting too crazy. I say that as the line gets crazy.
This is the giant scissors. When I was told ribbon cutting, I thought, yeah, I'll just sit. Nope, I get the giant scissors. Everybody, welcome. It's so great to see so many people coming out for books. It never stops being old, huh? Yeah. Ready? Woo! Okay, let's see if it works. Smells like new books.
I found 5. Yes. So howdy, I am back home. I had a really good time at the Barnes & Noble opening. Once the ribbon cutting was over, it basically was just like shopping at a Barnes & Noble like normal. So I got kind of was like, man, I'm not going to record anymore because there wasn't really anything like happening. I couldn't figure out where the author signing was. There was an author signing. Like, I think, Bill, tell the people you keep eating things. Bill, you can't eat, no. We're not eating all that. So I went with cash and I had like a very strict budget of what I was going to be spending, and I did not go over budget. Hi, editing Nicole. I forgot to record for this video a haul of everything that I got. I posted the haul of everything I got already on the channel in the form of a short. So I'm just going to like cut down everything from that short and just throw that in here. I'll link the original short down in the description box in case anyone wants to see what I cut out. Everything that I got. I got Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. I've seen quite a few of my mutuals reading this series, and so I was curious about it, so I got book 1. I think this might be a special edition copy. Mine's already bent. I also picked up Lights Out by Nevessa Allen as well as Caught Up. I had previously read Lights Out when it was still an indie release, so this is honestly just a book trophy. And I told myself I was not going to be the kind of person who does book trophies, but
I lied.
So I got this beautiful edition of Lights Out. We got some sprayed edge action. I have a hold on the audiobook for this one from Libby, so I'm just waiting for that to go through. Barnes & Noble edition of Caught Up, and then we have sprayed edges here as well. So I also picked up Filthy Rich Fae and Filthy Rich Vampire from Geneva Lee. Part of the store opening, they were also giving out this free bag. I will say though, I thought that this was going to be the same type of canvas material as the free book bags you get when you're a Barnes & Noble member. it's not. It's quite cheaper in quality, so that's a little bit disappointing. But it still looks nice. Like, I'll still get to use it. So woohoo for that. So I'm just taking the dogs out to run around. I think I'm gonna go over to the garden now because it rained pretty good last night and I need to check the soil to see if I need to still water the garden or if it's looking pretty good. So I figured you guys can get a garden tour for 2025. Here is the garden for 2025. If you watched any of the gardening stuff from last year, the setup is pretty much the same thing from last year, just reversed. So we have tomatoes, more tomatoes, more tomatoes, more tomatoes. We've got like 3 or 4 varieties of tomatoes. Here are the, what was it? Zucchini plants are here. And then peppers are all through down here. We're currently getting a couple of peppers already. There's one little guy. Then a couple of more peppers here. Sassy, cut it out. Stop eating the plants. Then cucumber. I think that's more peppers there. And then broccoli down there where Rue is. We have a couple of cucumbers already. Sassy, stop eating the zucchini plants. And then the broccoli is here. Rue, you two, Sassy and Rue are very much enjoying the spoils of the garden. And then right here we have eggplants. Anyone was wondering if Rue and Sassy play. Sassy, be nice. Rue, are you stopping for a snack? Rue. Oh, you guys
Woo! You know you did.
you guys kind of trampled the plants. Okay, not in the garden. We just came out of the garden. Okay, out of the garden. Jesus.
Several days later.
Howdy again. So we recently got our first batch of zucchini from the garden. So I decided I'm gonna make some zucchini bread. I am doing the exact same recipe that I did last year for the last chocolate zucchini recipe. So I'm not gonna go through all of the steps again because we already saw that. So we're just gonna chit chat while I bake. In case you couldn't tell by this video being on Nicole Loves Nails, I recently decided that I am just going to put all of my videos on this channel.
Now I do what I want. Now I do what I want.
I've got some brown sugar lumps. If you were unaware, I had been posting on my second channel, Nicole Danielson, for the past year. When I decided that I was going to do that, it was because the views on the non-nail polish content on this channel weren't doing very well, to be honest. But I've now decided, once again, that I feel like it's a little confusing because I post non-nail polish stuff on my other social media for Nicole Loves Nails, and I just decided I'm just gonna put everything together since I do it on my other platforms already anyway. As of right now, I don't think I'm gonna be changing the channel name.
Sure, Jan.
So in this bowl, I had flour, baking soda, golden sugar, and brown sugar. And of course, I'll have the recipe listed in the description box as well in case anyone wants to make it. This recipe is fantastic. I have enough zucchini that I might make 2 of these. I'm undecided currently. I'm also just trying to look at the rest because I do not have this memorized. Also, I know the table looks very chaotic right now, but this is what the table looks like when I'm baking. I'm also using my kitchen scale because I hate having to use a whole bunch of cups. This is Dutch processed cocoa powder, and that was more than 50 grams. The recipe also calls for using instant coffee if you have it. I don't have it, and my espresso powder is expired. Plus, also, I'm planning on feeding this to my husband, and he's not a huge chocolate person, and usually when I add espresso powder to things, he doesn't really care for it too much. It's like too chocolatey for him.
Fool this man! No!
I suppose the second zucchini bread I make today should probably be a regular zucchini bread, just so that I'm not the only one eating this, but whatever. In the butter we go. But basically, since the last update for this video, we just had a heat wave here. I mean, I feel like for most of the country there was a heat wave, honestly. We had like very close to 100-degree days and productivity was low in these parts. I just grabbed eggs from the chicken coop, and in case you were unaware, when you have fresh chicken eggs, you always want to crack them into a separate vessel to make sure they don't look weird. Is this still hot? I just realized this is very hot liquid. So it's about a teaspoon, 1.5 teaspoons. So we'll just eyeball it. Should be about right. There's no such thing as too much vanilla anyway. First egg in, whisk. Pray that we don't have scrambled eggs in here or something falls in. Did you guys hear my rooster? It is never truly quiet in this house. I just finished reading Bloodmarked in the Legendborn Cycle series. I need some recommendations. I feel like all of the books that I've been reading as of late have been like emotionally taxing. Like when I finished Bloodmarked, like I wanted to scream. No spoilers, by the way. We went through it in this book. So when I started Bloodmarked, I honestly had forgotten a little bit that the ending of Legendborn was honestly like right in the gut. So I was really excited to start Bloodmarked, and I started it thinking it was going to be like fun, chill times. Hi, I just realized while editing this, the way I'm talking about Bloodmarked makes it sound like that I didn't enjoy the book. It was a 5-star read for me. I absolutely freaking love that book. I just wish Bree could have a little bit easier of a time. That's all I want for poor Bree. I want her to have a good time. And I really think that poor girl is having like the worst year ever after having the worst year ever. And it was not, in fact, fun, chill times. So when I finished that, I was like, oh, let me just read something just like some smutty fun. And I foolishly started Little Liar. And once again, I forgot that on top of it being like smutty good times, book one of that was also kind of emotionally taxing. All right, I think this is well combined here. I also still need to blot out my zucchini. Blot out the zucchini. This was like 300-ish grams. I usually run my zucchini through the food processor to like blend it up a little bit more. I just use my box grater because I just did not feel like doing that. And I'm hoping that I don't regret my decision. So like a few weeks ago, my therapist gave me an Emily Henry book, and Emily Henry books are like pretty much just like a nice little rom-com. So I've been trying to get into that, but it's not as funny opening up that I had hoped it would be. Drop some book recommendations. I want something fun. So where did I put the chocolate? Oh yeah, I put those behind me. So I'm using chocolate chunks and chocolate chips. These are semi-sweet chocolate chunks and then milk chocolate chips. By the way, fellow bakers, has anyone else had a really hard time finding chocolate chunks at local stores, or is it just a Connecticut thing? Like, I love the chocolate chunks, but I have had such a hard time finding them the past few years that like now if I want chocolate chunks, I end up just cutting my like a chocolate bar up. Fold it all in together. Alrighty. We done. Cake goop. I feel like I said this in the last time I made the chocolate zucchini bread. I keep meaning to make a chocolate cake goop, but I always forget until like I need to use the damn cake goop in something chocolatey. So yeah, you just spread it into your pan like so, and then your baked goods will not stick.
A few moments later.
Did a super quick cleanup. I'm gonna make a regular zucchini bread. Yeah, I've got a cup of oil here. And I'm gonna use my homemade dark brown sugar here. I'm honestly really nervous about making more changes to this channel. Is it 200 regular? I feel like the past like 2 years, I've been making a lot of changes to this channel, and I feel like every couple of months I change my mind on some other new thing. I really do appreciate everyone who has stuck around the past couple of years full of changes. Because like when I first started this channel, I pretty much only did like indie nail polish stuff. I got so burnt out on all of the collab boxes and just not being able to post what I felt like posting. So then I started doing the mainstream videos, and I haven't done a mainstream video pretty much this entire year. Welcome to my kitchen. And I feel like I've done a lot more with the boutique brands thus far this year, and I kind of want to change that again. This year has been a lot. In case you missed the last life update video, if you weren't subscribed to the other channel, we've had a lot of not great news in my family and a lot of changes, and it's been a rather stressful year, I would say. I feel like it's starting to get sassy. What on earth are you doing? Life has just been lifing real hard over here, and I'm just trying my best to try to keep moving forward. Also, this one calls for 4 eggs. I expected this recipe to be pretty similar to the last one, just, you know, without the chocolate, but it looks like it's actually quite different. The last recipe used 2 eggs, and this one uses 4. The last one called for butter. This one uses oil. I feel like I remember making this last year, but I don't remember how I personally felt about it. I know Wayne ate it. Sorry, I'm bouncing all over the place. This is gonna be so annoying to edit. Oh, wait a second. This is supposed to go in the egg bowl. I was just like, this is not mixing. Ooh. I did not do a great job at selecting bowls, huh? We're gonna play a game of can I fit everything into this bowl? I should really get another bowl. I really should. This is playing stupid games. Is this bowl comically large? Yeah, but whatever. It was the first one within reach. Also, don't ask why I decided to do this by hand and not use my stand mixer. Okay, look at that. That's looking way better. 435 grams of all-purpose flour. We're gonna need more flour. Ooh, wait, no, we're not. We're good. I hope for the people who had missed the baking content, I hope you guys like this one. To be perfectly honest, I have not been baking as much as I usually do. I don't know, like I said, life has been lifing. And when I get in the mood to bake, it's largely like first thing in the morning, looking extra crusty. Oh, this calls for cinnamon. Let me get the cinnamon. You know, you should always read the whole recipe before you start it, and yet I never do that. Also, I'm doing heaping teaspoons for this, because unless you're allergic to cinnamon, I don't think there's any such thing as too much cinnamon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1.5 teaspoons, just pinching. And I just realized I didn't measure out the zucchini yet. Yeah, she doesn't say anything about blotting the zucchini, so I'm not gonna blot the zucchini. I feel like I should blot the zucchini though. I'm gonna follow the recipe and not blot the zucchini. Oh, you know what I bet? I bet the reason for not blotting the zucchini for this one is the last one had a lot more liquid in it. Ugh, I painted my nails yesterday, and I feel like these are gonna look horrible by the end of today. By the way, in case anyone is wondering what's on my nails, I have on Sally Hansen's Pacific Blue, and then on my swatch hand, I have Pacific Blue with Sweet and Sour Lacquers, the Nicole on top. I'll put pictures on the side, assuming when I go to the nail room after all of this, my nails don't look like trash. Did I see a cat hair? A good dupe for Pacific Blue, because you're gonna have a hard time finding, this is the old version of Pacific Blue. I'll have a hard time finding this one online, and not paying like $20+. Moonshine Manny has a dupe of Pacific Blue, and I own both of them, and yeah, they're very, very close. If I can remember to put a picture of all of my similar polishes Pacific Blue, I'll put one up in here in the corner. Okay, that looks mixed to me. Here is how we looking. And I once again forgot to prepare a pan. Oh shoot, there was a dry spot. No. Everything's in the oven. I'm gonna clean up. We'll be back in a sec. Sorry for the wonky lighting. I'm using the kitchen lighting because I just moved my filming lights into my nail room to record some videos. Wow. Yeah, lighting is trash. I'm so sorry, but I'm not moving the lights again. They're massive. So the chocolate zucchini bread baked up wonderfully. I had no issues. As you can see for the regular zucchini bread, it overflowed quite a bit. I put way too much batter in this pan. I should have probably used my 10-inch pan when I saw how much dough was in here, but I didn't do that, so here we are. It released pretty good. I was a little concerned about it because I ended up having to put it in the oven for an additional, I don't know, it was like an additional 15-20 minutes. I honestly forgot to set a timer, and I just like, oh shit, I forgot I was baking. It was one of those kind of moments. But like, the outside isn't too bad. I ended up tenting it as well because it got a little crispy. I'm gonna end the video here because I've got other videos that I need to record now. So thank you all for joining me for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. So expect to see some more non-nail polish content content back on this channel. If you like seeing my face, don't forget to check out my other social media, which is all right over here.
Ooh, I'm giving you guys boobies.
Oh my god. I told myself I was never gonna wear this dress on YouTube again. I wore this last summer on my second channel for whatever reason. I mean, I know there were 2 reasons, but basically oh, that burned me. Basically what ended up happening is I wore this in a video on that channel, and for whatever reason it messed up my YouTube analytics, and that channel has had a majority male audience ever since.
Thanks, I hate it.
No offense to the men, but like, the vibes are different. Have a lovely week, folks, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Big ass when I get high. I ain't looking at the clock, still ballin' like Brian. Yeah, I'm headed to the Bucks, then I'm ballin' like yeah.